Michele Hodges. She's the president for the Belle Isle Conservancy. So many people, Michele, are getting out and enjoying our parks because we've been cooped up. We can't go to the places we normally go. How are things going for Belle Isle? Has it been extremely busy?
For certain, we've absolutely seen that, Ronnie. We normally get about 4 million people a year to visit the park, and we're expecting once the numbers are in for 2020 and 21, it's going to be much higher than that. And in fact, we recently joined the Park RX platform, which recognizes exactly what I think you were just illuminating, is that your parks are good for your mental health, and it is one of the safe things that you can do in a pandemic.
The beautiful thing that I've witnessed over the past few years, the improvements that have been coming to the park. I know there was a lot of controversy back when the state leased the park from the city of Detroit and the DNR took over, but it looks beautiful. Do you want to talk about some of the improvements?
We're in a continuous and constant improvement mode thanks to all the partners that we have, and it continues to be our City of Detroit Park too, right? They are an important part of our solution as well, and absolutely the state of Michigan has brought many resources to the table, as has the foundation community and our donors. So even during the pandemic, it's actually given us the luxury, because some of the buildings have been closed, to do some additional improvements that you can't do when you're open. So we're excited to have folks back at the aquarium because we've had a number of new tank exhibits installed and other physical improvements. The fish miss everybody. In fact, I know your previous guest was a representative of Oakland University, and one of our aquarists is an award-winning OU alum, Amanda Murray, and she is so wonderful with our fish. She sings to them, and she assures me that they miss our public. So we can't wait to reopen the doors. And it's the same with the conservatory. The Dawsons had some improvements underway. So we're ready for everybody.
Well, I think that when the aquarium reopens to the public, you should have a concert.
Oh, do you know something that I was going to share with you today?
No, I don't, but I was just thinking if she's singing to the fish, maybe a concert would be good. But
yeah, that's a fabulous idea. I could send you some little video to show you how good she is. She'll do the whole Ariel under the sea thing, and it's pretty magical. But we have Drummer B doing a live stream on January 28th. So our aquarium is hip and cool. Albert Kahn would be proud.
that is awesome, because behind the scenes, what is it like day to day to try to keep coming up with new things and new events to keep people entertained, because by this time we are all so zoomed out?
We love it because it forces you to be creative, right? And it forces you to summon all of your resources. So if the community were to visit our website, which I hope they will, belleisleconservancy.org, you'll find Belle Isle Bingo. These are all things that are new since the pandemic. We've taken all of our field trips that we do in partnership with Detroit Public Schools and Hamtramck Schools, Highland Park Schools, and we've put some of those on our website, and they're award-winning. We have virtual tours of the aquarium. So one is of our collection. So come meet all of our you can actually say, here, fishy, fishy, come visit. And you can also learn more about the history and architecture of the aquarium. So there's a Chutes and Ladders game on our website. You can learn about nature through some DNR programming. There's a mission and trivia game. So that's been the fun part. We have new partnerships with Great Lakes Now. So on Fridays, we do some Facebook live streaming. And of course now, Drummer B, sort of on the other end of the spectrum, right? And he's awesome because he's launching his Age of Aquarius album. And what better place to do that if you're an Aquarius in the aquarium?
That is awesome. Who put that together? Because that's fabulous.
I just have the coolest team, and they know everybody. And the aquarium's lovable, so people want to be there. So we're really grateful to Drummer B because he's going to raise money too.
So what is the status when it comes to being able to hold events or weddings at the park? Was that on hiatus? And if so, is it going to return in the summertime?
Oh, we're hoping. We don't have official word from the DNR on that yet. They're, of course, adhering to all of the governor's directives that have been rendered. So the only buildings on Belle Isle that are open presently is the Dawson Great Lakes Museum. You can participate in the rowing program at the Belle Isle the Belle Isle Boathouse. Certainly the Detroit Yacht Club has some programming available, but for the most part, the physical facilities are closed. With that said, if you are within the realm of the existing directives, you can do an outdoor event in that. So we're hoping maybe by April to have more clarity on when we can start reserving those spots again, because it is a really important part of the Detroit community, and people thankfully want to use Belle Isle to celebrate those most important life's moments. So we're hoping to have that information soon.
It's a beautiful backdrop, but it does make it hard for planning purposes because brides don't like to go, moment by moment. So it can be a challenge.
No, they can't for sure. So we're juggling.
So with that, it seems like we've had a pretty mild winter so far. Does that help increase the number of people coming to visit the park?
I think so. I even know myself, I'll ride my bike down Jefferson Avenue to get there. I've been able to continue to do that throughout the winter time here and get on the island and encircle it. We've been able to do some of our projects. So, to more thoroughly answer your question there, MDOT has resurfaced many of the roads. The Iron Bell Trail is going in. It's this lovely weaving trail traversing parts of the park. So yes, I'm sure it's contributing to our numbers, but I really hope even in the bitter cold, people see Belle Isle as a four-season park. You can skate, you can snowshoe, you can bike, as I said, walk, run, get in a snowball fight. I would have loved to have done that with my brothers, go nail them with a few snowballs. And I'll do that in a beautiful, beautiful natural setting. So even if it were super cold, I'd say, come on down.
It's funny, I was cleaning out the basement and I found our snowball makers. So maybe I need to find some kids to give those to.
I don't know. I heard you say plural makers. I'll meet you down there.
We'll have to do it one day. Hey, will we be seeing the Grand Prix return this year?
Yes, we will. Yes, in fact, just this morning I was emailing with our team and, hearing from our chairs from General Motors. They've been such wonderful supporters of ours. So yes, the Grand Prix will be on the island in June over 2 weekends. And we're excited about that because they believe in the park, they support the park, and the park benefits as a result of that public-private partnership. So yes, and the HydroFest races are coming as well later in the summer. So we're starting to see morsels of normalcy coming, which is, I think, a much welcomed respite from this pandemic for everybody.
Very much so. And what's the status of volunteers? Because I know that, volunteers are such a vital part of helping to keep the park beautiful and, glowing as well. Have volunteers been able to return to the park?
You have such good questions, Ronnie. You really understand how our cultural institutions and natural spaces like Belle Isle function. And our volunteers are our heartbeat. We would not be where we are without our volunteers, and they perform so many essential functions, whether it's as a docent at the conservatory or a guide at the aquarium, or they build our exhibits at the aquarium, or they pull out invasive species, or they pull trash out for us. They're essential. So certainly some of those functions have been waylaid, but we've been connecting with them via Zoom and that sort of thing and having fun and keeping their stake up in that regard. But others, I was just marveling over people over the summer when we were dealing with trash and, in the throes of the pandemic, the scariest time, and they would come up to the table just with their hands full of the most awful things, maybe an old baby diaper or something, and just have a smile on their face because they're happy to help Belle Isle and the park that they love. So yes, our volunteers in some capacity continue to serve the island.
It really is a gem in the middle and in the heart of Detroit.
And when you go out to that lighthouse and you realize that you are in an urban area, you really understand how important that island is, because you have no idea that's where you are. You hear the waves lapping, you're in the meadow, you see the trees, you have no cognizance that there are skyscrapers within a short drive. So you're right, and it's architecturally significant, it's historically significant. There's something for everybody. Our forest is historic. It was created by the glaciers. It's rare. Detroit eagles. We have eagles. Detroit Audubon does its tours, bird watching. There's more than 200 species that use Belle Isle. So it's not hyperbole to say there's something for everybody.
That is so, it is really a beautiful escape, per se. When I worked in Detroit, I would often go there for lunch just to sit outside and enjoy the sunshine and look at the trees. And it's such a beautiful view, across the river there. So, with that, Michelle, before we let you go, if people want to find out more about some of the events that you have going on, or maybe even if they want to volunteer, how can they do that?
BelleIsleConservancy.org. We're also very active on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I think you'll enjoy, and in multiple venues too. Be sure you join the Anna Scripps Whitcomb Conservatory Facebook page too. Jeremy Kemp is awesome about putting up beautiful photography. So through social media and our website, and we'll take you right away. We'd love to, we need financial support as well. And there's many opportunities to do that. We have quite a big lift in order to keep preserving and protecting this beautiful place we know as Belle Isle. So however people can help, we're very grateful.
So you did mention earlier about some of your partnerships with the companies in the Detroit and Metro Detroit area. How has it changed through the year? Because it can be hard to try to fundraise for some of the money that you need when companies are struggling right now as well.
It certainly can be, and I really need to salute our corporate community, because even though our largest fundraiser, the Grand Premiere, in partnership with the Grand Prix, did not happen, many of those sponsors stayed at the table. I think it shows the power and commitment and the responsible stewardship that our corporate community has. Whether it's DTE or General Motors or Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're right there with us, and we're so grateful for that. So the challenge in 2021 will be keeping them at the table and making sure that we're honoring our commitment to them, which is to do our job and do it very well and give them meaningful opportunities to reach their customers.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do, and please extend our gratitude to your team members as well. For anyone who hasn't been to Belle Isle recently, you really need to go, because it's just a gem and such an escape. You forget that you're in the middle of Detroit.
And we'd love to have them, and I'd love to go on a bike ride or walk with them as well. So just let me know.